Hello there everyone, welcome to a session at the Citadel City, and to get things kicked off we have 397-002 working the 12:33 Transpennine Express service from Glasgow Central through to Preston. Arriving next into the station 9 minutes early is 34067, terminating with a rail tour off Bristol Temple Meads. Arriving next to terminate with a northern service off Morpeth is 158842. Next to depart will be 397-002, working the 12:49 Avanti West Coast service from Glasgow Central through to London Euston. Arriving to terminate with a northern service off Barrow-in-Furness is 156491. Disappearing with the coach in stock and the steam engine will be 57314, heading on the head code 5 Zulu 27. Leading off right behind him is 158842, running 5 minutes late with the 1247 Northern service through to Newcastle. Arriving next into the station is 390-131, working the 1301 Avanti West Coast service from London Euston through to Edinburgh Waverley. Next out to depart will be 156491, working the 1307 Northern service through to Lancaster. Arriving next to terminate with a northern service off of Newcastle is 156487. Up next to depart will be 390-040, working the 1312 Avanti West Coast service from Glasgow Central through to London Euston via Birmingham New Street. Arriving next into the station is 397-001, working the 1315 Transpennine Express service from Preston through to Glasgow Central. Up next to depart will be 156416, working under the head code 5 Charlie 30, with an ECS working through Carlisle. Next up to terminate with a northern service off of Leeds, it is 158868. Next train out to depart is 397-010, working the 1328 Transpennine Express service from Glasgow Central through to Liverpool Lime Street. Next out to depart will be 156487, working the 1332 Northern Service through to Morpeth. Dual workings now with the departure of 397009 and 158757, working the 1334 Transpennine Express service from Edinburgh Waverley through to Preston, and the 1336 Northern service through to Leeds via the Citadel and Carlisle, respectively. Arriving back into the station on its ECS working through Carlisle is 156416. Arriving next to terminate with a Northern service off of Morpeth is 158859. Next up, arriving to terminate 7 minutes late with a Northern service off of Lancaster is 156451. Next train out to depart is 390118, working the 1349 Avanti West Coast service from Glasgow Central through to London Euston. Next out to depart is 158859, working the 1355 Northern service through to Newcastle. Running 34 minutes early under the head code OZulu 66 from Crewe Cresty Bridge through to Carlisle Kingmore is 66431. Next in to arrive, terminating with a northern service off of Newcastle, is 158816. Next up, running 6 minutes late for Avanti West Coast, is 390.046, working the 1402 Avanti West Coast service from London Euston through to Glasgow Central. Next out to depart will be 156451, working the 1408 Northern service through to Barrow-in-Furness. And quickly following on his heels will be 390.129, working the 1406 Avanti West Coast service from Edinburgh Waverley to London Euston via Birmingham New Street. After being turned around, cleaned, fed and watered, here comes 57314, dragging back 34067 Tangmere under the head code 5 Zulu 30. Next up, arriving 8 minutes late, is 397.003, working the 1415 Transpennine Express service from Preston through to Edinburgh Waverley. And after getting the green and departing with much gusto, it's 34067 Tangmere, working the 1418 West Coast Rail Tour, called the Cumbrian Mountain Express, back to Bristol Temple Meads. And a couple of bonus clips for you now. First up being 156511, working the 1508 Scotrail service through to Dumfries. And your final train of the session will be 802-205, working the 1533 Transpennine Express service from Edinburgh Waverley through to Preston. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed what you saw, click on the 2 videos here at the end screen. Helps out the channel. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you are new and got this far. And we'll see you all in the next video, folks, wherever that may take us. We'll see you then, folks.